Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here in the lovely World of Raccoons with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And you're gonna have to forgive me if I don't sound like my usual self. If you don't follow me on Twitter, this would be a splendid time to go ahead and do just that. My Twitter handle is @Vanillaraccoon. Then you would not have seen that I tweeted out the day after I recorded the previous episode that my allergies are now kicking in, and I would rather just have to deal with them now at the beginning of spring rather than wait until later to do so then I can have more of this wonderful season to enjoy. But with that all being said, let's go ahead and take a look at our to-do list. So this is episode 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Here we go. So our to-do list says, discuss background music and the idea of updating world to a stable snapshot for 1.12. Fix item elevator at tree farm, which we are currently at, and then create an ice tray close to the tree farm. And as for this ice tray, I may just go ahead and create it over there where you see that semi-flat terrain at right there. But this is the simple but efficient tree farm that I have constructed during my most recent Twitch live stream with the help of Twisty Gaming along with the Popcorn Goat Gaming. And with that all being said, let's just go ahead and take a quick peek as to what's going on here. So ideally what I'm going to have to do is just take my saplings and then place them where we have the rings at and then wait for them to grow. And then also we have these little sources of water that create a current that will carry the saplings and any other droppings that I may not have picked up when when deforesting the trees that are right here. And then they'll flow right into the hooper hopper, which will then lead them into the droppers that we have just beneath this chest. However, if we take a look at this particular item elevator, it does work in 1.11.2. However, let's just go ahead and clamber back up here. If we just go ahead and toss 1, 2, 3, and 4 carrots, let's watch them to make sure they go into the hopper, you'll hear the clicking, which indicates that it is working. However, when we open this chest, as you can tell, we only have the 3, and the 4th carrot is always going to be stuck right there for some reason. And I found another item elevator design by Mumbo Jumbo that I'm gonna test to see if that one works, where I get all of my items into the chest here. But with that all being said, at least let's just go ahead and briefly discuss the background music and the idea of updating to a stable 1.12 snapshot before I completely forget to do so. So from time to time, I like to switch things up in regards to the background music that I have playing during my videos. And for the past few LPs now, we've been using music brought to you by Brock Barang on Bandcamp. And I may have butchered his last name there, so I'm terribly sorry if I did, dude. Anyways, so although I enjoy listening to his music and then also including them in my videos here on YouTube, I've been using a lot of Broke for Free music during my Twitch live streams, and I was thinking of beginning to use music by Broke for Free and not Brock anymore. Well, at least for now, at least. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about both of those ideas. Would you like me to switch things up in regards to the background music so that it will still maintain the mood and vibe of each segment and the whole episode in itself, or do you want to still listen to music by Brock in the background? And also, what are your thoughts on updating a world to a snapshot? I know that's always a risky thing to do because some snapshots may corrupt a world, and also things that you may fiddle around with during your gameplay with them may not be in the game once the final version is released. But since it's getting to be dusk, that's my cue to go ahead and lay my head to rest and make it the day. So I'll see you guys when hopefully we have a new item elevator here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new redstone item elevator. It's fairly simple and compact. Basically what you have to do is facing away from the dropper, you have a redstone comparator that is going to run into a block, and then on the left face of that block you're going to go ahead and place down a redstone torch, and then just beneath it, well not beneath it, just behind it to the side, you're going to place another block with a single piece of redstone dust, and then right there you're going to have another redstone torch, and then you're going to repeat the exact same thing going upwards. Now this seems to be working, however it's not working 100%. Let me go ahead and demonstrate this for you all right here. So we have 5 oak saplings that I'm going to toss down into the current, and there we go. Let's move over here so that we can hear it ticking away, and then we're going to go ahead and now open the chest, and we only have 6. What? Wait a minute. Hold the phone, peeps. Hold on. What I had done before I hit the record button was I tested this off camera, and it was only going to give me 5 from the 6 that we now have. Hence why I said we're going to toss 5. Let's retest this again just for the sake of science. Now it's 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to count the ticking. I'm just not going to. Okay. Let's go ahead and open the chest now, and we have 6 again. Oh, how very odd. Okay, 3 times the charm. I'm gonna knock on my wooden desk right there so that hopefully this will begin to work. And now, okay, so this seems to be working 100% now. That's very, very odd. I guess I just wanted to wait until it knew that it was on camera and being recorded, that it would then begin to work. Okay, so we now have a 100% working item elevator, and let's just go ahead and chop down this tree because it's going to annoy me so long because it's standing there by itself and we don't have any other saplings. This would be a good time to test how it works with the logs. Not that that would make any difference, but let's just go ahead and see. Okay, and there's 5 logs now. Alright. That's very odd that it wasn't working at all in the slightest bit 100% wise off camera. But once I hit the record, does this game have a mind of its own? Dear God! Just when you thought that this was a lovely world, it's going to become... Well, no, it's still a lovely world, but it's going to become a self-aware lovely world. Alright, so I went ahead and created the ice tray right after I recorded the previous segment. However, some time has passed because I went ahead and took my dog Phoenix out for a walk, even though I'm not feeling 100%. But nevertheless, it's good to step outside and go for a walk and smell the fresh air, even though I'm slightly congested. However, when I came back, I decided to test this again to see if this was going to work 100%. And to my, I don't want to say assumption, but to my safe guess, it's not working 100%, but do you guys hear that? Did you hear that hissing sound? That's almost as if it's making the sound as when you pour water on top of lava, or maybe if you have a fire source nearby and you toss items into it. I'm going to go ahead and toss these 15 oak logs in it once more and take a listen. See? Now, I have no idea what's causing that sound, and like I said, we were going to toss 15 logs into the current here, and we only got 14. There's one single oak log right there, so I'm not sure what's making it act up now. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments down below. But this is our ice tray. It's going 12 blocks across, 12 blocks back, and it's only 1 block deep. We have this diagonal line going from this corner to the opposite, so that way then we can always have a source of water. So when we harvest the ice, then the water source will begin to create a wave that goes on this side and also on that side, which will then refill the entire tray with water. And then as time passes, the water will transform into ice, and then we'll have a new stock of ice to harvest. But I think what I'm going to do is I spent enough time on top of this mountaintop, so I'm going to make my way down to our village, and I'll see you guys when we're ready to figure out what we're going to do next in this episode. I done gone goofed, and what I mean by that is I thought I was recording the process of building this new structure, but I wasn't recording, so unfortunately you all will never see that footage. But nevertheless, basically, to make a long story short, aside from mentioning in the previous episode, I also took to Twitter and shared a screenshot of the medium-sized crop farm that is just over yonder on the other side of that NatGen village structure, saying there's something different with these player heads. If anyone is able to point it out, then you will receive a special prize in the next episode. And although Darcy had guessed it somewhat correctly in the comment section of the previous episode, on Twitter, 2Piggles nailed it on the head. And I decided that special prize would be to build something that is inspired by that person, whether it was a fellow YouTuber or even a fellow broadcaster or even someone, a viewer. Just by looking at their name, then I would go ahead and figure out what it is that I would build that could be inspired by that person. But I went ahead and searched to and fro within the lovely World of Raccoons until I came across two piggies, or should I say two piggy wigs, and I built them this house. Now originally they were just chilling out in this pen area, and I was gonna build them a house within it, but then I thought, you know what are 2Piggles worth? Ask yourself that, peeps. What are 2Piggles worth? And so I thought to myself, you know what, I think 2Piggles are worth a pretty nifty looking house, but something that can be fairly simple and easy to replicate within your own single player world or on a server that you may be playing on. And if that's the case, then be sure to point your fellow server mates to this episode and let them know about this series, this channel, and where you got the inspiration for this build from. So what I'm going to do now at this point is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to create, do I have a furnace on me at the moment? No, I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and craft up a furnace, and I'm going to place it by this bedside. And then I'm only going to take, we'll only take 16 dark oak logs because we have a lot of those logs in particular. So we're going to begin to make charcoal, and you're going to see why in a moment. But while that is cooking up, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle around the outside perimeter of this new build some cobblestone stairs, just to implement a little depth and detail into the walls, because, well, creating a box house is one thing, but then creating a house with nothing but flat walls is another. And I, at least in my Minecraft career at this point now, I just can't handle looking at something like that anymore. So I'm gonna try and resolve the issue by doing something like this. Now, you know what? Unfortunately, we are not gonna be able to have cobblestone walls placed down next to the dark oak logs that we have right here and connect up with the stairs. So instead, we're just gonna go ahead and oh yes I do. I'm gonna take stone brick stairs and I'm gonna begin to sprinkle in some variation of stone based blocks to help make this build look just a little bit more better than it did originally when I brought it back to you all. And then from here, what we could possibly do is then throw in some cobblestone walls, just so then our roof has a little more support and it's visible. Whereas if you were like me, then you could go ahead and be fine with using something called your imagination. But for those of you who actually want to see it to believe it, well, here you go. Now, I don't want to go too crazy with this, and I don't want the wall to appear noisy with the variation, depth, and detail, because like I always say, there can be such a thing as too much of a good thing. So I want to try and keep things fairly clean cut as I can. Now, for the flooring inside of here, I thought about what I want to do with this, and you know what? We're going to do something similar to what we did over in our signature fantasy style house. And that is, we're just going to go ahead and begin to throw down some logs on their side so we see the bark textures going on. And wherever the vibrant shade of gray is at is where we're going to place down our dark oak logs. However, where we have the not so vibrant shade of gray is at is where we're going to throw down the spruce. And then we're going to go ahead and just try and create somewhat of a pattern like this. Excuse me, piggy wigs, I'm trying to lay down the flooring for your house so your feet don't get cold. Well, not your feet, your hooves don't get cold. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Alright, so this one guy. Alright, that's right, I have carrots on the bar, so I could get them to come up. Oh, ha 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 ha. I'm smarticles like that. That's a word I have not said or let alone heard in a long time. Smarticles. So now they need a place to lay their head at to rest, and although they cannot make it today, at least they can go ahead and lay their head to rest and get some Z's. So why don't we just go ahead and throw down the bed right here, and then in the corner we'll go ahead and throw down a crafting chest table, and then we'll go ahead and retrieve the charcoal outside of there, get the experience. Muy excelente, señor fritos. And then we're going to go ahead, throw down our furnace right here in this corner, so it's fairly close to the bed, so that way then if they want to cook something up at night or during the day and it gets to be cold during either periods of time, then they can go ahead and not only cook up their foods, but they can also generate some heat. And the reason why I decided to leave the ceiling high up is so that then, well, heat rises, and if we had a low ceiling, then it could get a little uncomfortable inside of this house. So let's just go ahead and let the heat rise up as much as it can. Now let's go ahead and we're going to take one single spruce log, create sticks from the planks that we got from it, and we're going to create some torches, and now we're going to go ahead and do something like that. And then just to finish things off, you know what, let's just make a few more cobblestone stairs, and what I want to do with those is I'm just going to sprinkle them inside the walls itself, if I think I can get away with it. Now we will have some parts of the bark texture on the logs exposed, but you know what, that's okay with it. Oh god, no! Pig! No, what are you doing? Oh my. Oh, that was so unscripted. You can't make this stuff up, peeps. I tell you, you can't make this stuff up. It's a runaway pig. It's a runaway pig. Come on, guys. I'm trying to make you a cool looking house, and this is how you're gonna thank me? Peace, I say. Alright, so for now at least, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw down one cobblestone stair on each side. On each of these walls here, and we're just gonna leave it at that. We're not gonna do anything more to overcomplicate it. Let's go ahead and lay our head to rest and make it the day, so now it can be anew. And do we have a chest inside of here? Ooh, no, we don't have a chest. Oh my, what am I doing? Here I am trying to pretty up your house, and I'm forgetting one of the most important things. Alright, we'll go ahead and throw a chest right there, and then eventually down the line, when we get the proper resources to craft up an ender chest, it'll go in that corner right there. But you know what, guys, that's gonna do it for me in this episode. I'm starting to feel a little more congested than I did at the beginning of the recording session for this episode, and I'm gonna take it easy for the rest of the day. So that being said, if you enjoyed this episode, then leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, then I invite you to check out the rest of it. But don't forget to turn on notifications when subscribing. That way you will then be notified when future Minecraft and other gameplay content is uploaded by yours truly, Vanillaraccoon. But I'd like to leave you with this question: what are 2 Piggles worth? And have a nice day.